So, this chapter is chapter 9. It's all about safeguarding children and adult at risk. To understand this chapter, before even we go into the chapter, first of all, I need to understand what safeguarding means. What do you mean? What do you understand by safeguarding?
Safeguarding is about the meaning of safeguarding is all about the safety of adults and children
Is it?
and everybody around you.
Safeguarding, if you in general, safeguarding means protecting.
Protection.
Safeguarding means
Protecting.
protecting. Yeah.
Protecting.
And in this particular subject that we are talking about, if we keep this scenario in front, then in this scenario, safeguarding means protecting children and adults who are at risk. Who are at risk. Okay. From harm and abuse. Risk protect them from harm and abuse. So now this section obviously give you general information about it, and also there is a safeguarding awareness training which is available. It's basically the same thing, but that it in a way that where you can match words against words and everything, and this will help you remember. So the advice from TfL is that you do complete that training as well, yeah. And this training is the link to this training is available on the TfL's SERU assessment page. Okay. Now, who is a child, John? Who is a child? Not look at the book,
A,
then.
a child is anybody over under 14,
Uh, Under 18.
under 18.
And this is according to law. Yeah, according to the law, anyone who is 18, under the age of 18, he is a child. Clear, yeah? But there's a very much of a difference between two categories, but we need to understand them properly. So an adult is a child is a person who is under the age of 18, and all children are at risk. Anyone that is in the category of children, they are at risk. Why? Risk. The children are vulnerable to harm and abuse because of their age. Because of their age, isn't it? And they're less able to protect themselves. They're less able to protect, and that depends on whom? That depends on the adults to be protected. That depends on the adults to be protected, and also this makes them vulnerable to being exploited. What is exploitation means?
Exploitation is about people using drugs and
No, that's not exploitation. That's different. Something is exploitation mean exploitation is something when an advantage is taken off somebody.
exploitation.
So action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from their work. So you treat, yeah, not abuse. Is abuse is something when you do abuse, you don't take advantage of people necessarily, but this one you are taking, using them. You have some sort of weakness of somebody, and you're using them for your own benefit. So that is called exploitation. Yeah. So understanding this word, and this is in the glossary as well, I believe, is very important to remember these explanations. Yeah. So we under exploitation, and abuse. What we understand what is an abuse. So the few messages to take away from here. One, anyone under the age of 18 is a children, and all children are vulnerable to crime, yeah, harm and abuse because of their age. They cannot protect themselves. They depend on the adult to be protected. Number one. Now, obviously, we understand the definition of an adult. An adult is a person who is the age of 18. Who is the age of 18 or over, yeah? Now, are all adults at risk? All the children are at risk, we understand. Are all the adults are at risk?
No.
No. Very good answer. Not all adults are at risk. Those adults are at risk who needs extra help and support, extra care and support. Those are in risk. They were at risk. And because of what?
Because of their condition.
Yeah, very good answer. Because of there may be there for any reason that unable to protect themselves. This could be because of their age, a disability they have, any mental illness or anything else. Because of that, they're unable to, less able to protect themselves. Yeah. Now, you have an unaccompanied child, a lone child, a child alone in your car. Yeah. And Are you going to take them?
Sorry?
A child alone coming to your car. Are you going to take them?
No.
Why?
Because it might be vulnerable, or we need an adult to accompany.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. The two things you need for that. Two things you need to do that. You need to know the name of the adult who will receive the child at the other end of the journey.
Oh,
You can take the child in your car, but you need to know the name of the adult who will be receive them
at the other end.
at end of the journey, and make sure that your operator should know this information. Make sure your operator should know, and you know the adult who is going to receive the child at the other side of the journey, and who will give you this information?
If they has
Operator.
operators, yeah.
Operator should give you that information. Very good. Now, as a driver, you may have to, because you're transporting so many people from A to B, from here to there, and in this scenario you may also have to transport children, adults who are at risk, and you may be in a position where you can provide help them. So you may come contacting with passengers that are being trafficked. You know what is trafficking means?
Yeah,
What does it mean?
it's like traffic to somebody, like kidnapping and traffic
Yes.
to somebody.
Yes, good. Yeah, forcefully people being taken from one place to another, one country to another. That's called human trafficking. Exploited, that we have self benefiting from somebody, abusing, or who are in need of some help in other way. Now, you can help with this, but you should know first of all what you can do to help these people. First of all, I need to know. I need to know what I can do, isn't it? If you have concerned the person is at risk. Now, you might notice things that doesn't seem quite right, isn't it? Or you could be in a position to report something to the police, which may help protect someone at risk. So this could be very useful. You could be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So make sure that our behavior should be with all passengers should be appropriate, including adult and child at risk. It must be appropriate with everyone, and also we need to be aware that how my action can affect others. Now, question to you is, protecting children and adult. Yeah? It's whose responsibility?
It's everybody's.
Everybody's responsibility. Not only the social worker or the police. Not only the social worker or the police. It's the responsibility of everyone. Everyone. Now, countenance. Now, what is countenance? Criminal exploitation is known as countenance. This is another name of the criminal exploitation is known as countenance. What is this? When gangs and organized crime groups do what? They use children. No. They use children and young adults. Young adults are those like 18, 19, 20. Those are young adults, yeah? They use them to force them actually. So they use them to sell drugs. They use them to sell drugs. And these children and young adults are there. Sometimes they do what? They're often being forced to travel from one county to another county. This is where we get the name county. And they use maybe train, buses, private hire, taxi, whatever they want to use. And they maintain a communication with the people in the drug trade by a phone. Yeah. So this is county, that lines, and this become county lines. But for us to remember that criminal exploitation is known as county line. Criminal exploitation is known as, this is the point I need to remember, that criminal exploitation is known as county lines. Now they are going to talk about some of the signs that will tell me that a child or a vulnerable person is at risk. These are the signs, so I can look at the signs and I understand this person is at risk. So what are they? If a young person or a vulnerable people being picked up or taken to hotels or suspected brothels. You understand what is a brothel, yeah?
Brothel is a hotel as well.
No, it's
a room in a building or a hotel. A brothel.
Brothel is where prostitution takes place.
Prostitution place.
Yeah. So brothels, particularly at odd times of the night. For example, if you take a young child, for example, 13 years old, and if you drop them at 2 o'clock in the morning in a hotel or brothel, yeah, so you should know straight away they're at risk. They're at risk. That's one example. Number two, a young person traveling to meet someone they don't know, and this happens a lot. I watched a program on BBC where an adult made a relationship with a young girl. She was only 11 or 12, and her dad was informed about it, and she came out in the night to meet that guy who was pretending to be a young man as well. So this happening a lot. So if we came to know that they are going to meet somebody they don't know and they probably have met online, we know straight away they're at risk. They're risk. A young person or adult who shows sign of being abused, harmed, or neglected, I should know that they are at risk. And obviously, children are not allowed to have drug or alcohol. So now, if an adult is putting a young person into your car who is under the influence of drug or alcohol, then I should know straight away they are at risk. They are at risk. And also, a child or young person who looks concerned or frightened in the company. So two people travel together, but other person is frightened, afraid of the other person. So we know they are at risk. Similarly, an adult or young person, again, they may be poorly dressed or unclean, or that looks like they do not get enough food to eat. And also, two adults are traveling, and then one adult is controlling other. So imagine both of us traveling, but you don't have a decision making, because I'm an evil guy and you don't have a decision making power. In the same manner, the person doesn't have the ability to spend their money. They don't have the control over their own money. So this is controlled by the other person. So all this tells me what? The person is at risk. The person is. So now what should you do? If you're in this kind of scenario, what should you do? You tell me, what should you do? What should be done?
I inform the police immediately.
And anybody else you should inform? It's only police? Who should? From whom you get the job?
You find the
operator. Yes, that's important to remember. If you think you have seen a child or adult at risk, you need to help, who needs help or is suffering from any sign of abuse, or if they have told you directly, you must report it to your operator and the police, both of them. It's operator and the police. These are the two parties I must report it to them. And as we have covered this already, it's very helpful to keep a note of the situation or the incident that you are in, or anything that you are worried about. For example, you can include details of like dates and time, a description of the what happened, the name and address, and a physical description of the people involved. You can give them this information to the police later on. Yeah. So these are the information we can record afterwards. Now, as a driver, what is important? It is important that you are aware of a children adult risk. You should be always look out for who could be at risk. Also, you should be concerned about their well-being, as well as at the same time listen to what they tell you. You should be listening to what they're going to tell you. Also, you can reassure them by being professional, kind, and considerate, and also report any concern to your operator and or to the police on 101. If it is an emergency, then 999. Now, there are some other helplines. If you don't feel like that you can report the matter to the police, there are some other lines you can use. You do not really need to remember the numbers, but you need to remember the names. Crime Stoppers, National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, and as well as Modern Slavery Helpline. So these are the places you can also report your concern to. Question to you is, if when you report something that doesn't directly relate to yourself, you are reporting something about somebody else, do you always have to disclose your identity? You have to tell them exactly always that who you are.
You don't need to do that.
Yes, absolutely. You can say I want to do an anonymous reporting. Yeah, so you don't have to disclose your identity. So thank you. That's all really. So the next step is to check your understanding by going through the chapter question that we have created and that is available to be purchased on our website. If you rather want to come and join a class, obviously we have a fully computer-based facility where you can join one of our classes. At the moment, our pass rate is about 90%. So more than welcome to join one of our classes. We have got 3, 5, and 10 days courses available to yourself. Also, as I said, you can buy mock test exams on exam software, and then you can keep practicing. Don't forget to hit the like button, make a comment, and share this video, and also subscribe our channel. Thank you very much for your time.